Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is something that I have been researching. And it's because of all of the talk that I've been hearing about recession, Great Depression, when's it going to start? Are we in it already? That type of thing. So I stumbled across some information that I thought was very, very interesting. And it kind of falls in line with the agenda, okay, the 2030. And allegedly, the next Great Depression will have a tremendous impact on the entire world, okay? Heavily influencing the way that we think, the way that we act. And as we navigate through this new normal, there will be a lot of changes to life as we know it today. The next Great Depression will start in 2030 and likely last through 2036. After this 6 year period of economic decline, it will take roughly 4 years to fully climb up from that low point and get to where we were before the Great Depression began. And a lot can and likely will change between now and the end of the upcoming Great Depression. We expect that the world will look very different than it does right now. There will be many, many changes that come from the millennial generation, because that generation will spark new and unique ideas. This shift in the mindset will automatically bring a change in attitudes, the worldview, cultures, and even relationships between nations. It will be a new world, if you will, with new pressures, new opportunities, as well as a bright future. However, that does not necessarily mean that there will be a decade of peace is certain to follow the 2030s Great Depression, with or without conflict. Okay. International borders could potentially be redrawn in some areas. While these changes are always subtly happening in the world, more noticeable changes could come to pass. Think back to the technology that you have used over the course of your life, okay? It was not long ago that, remember the phone, the BlackBerry? It helped to develop what came to be the modern smartphone. It offered a mainstream cell phone with the full keyboard from which you could send and receive corporate emails for work on the go. Today's common smartphone is essentially a fully functioning computer that fits into your pocket. Now, creative minds will be paying attention to what the world needs coming out of the Great Depression. And we can assume that an innovative new technology will be born in this decade, and many spark this same seismic change that occurred with the computer chip. This new technology will likely start off small and niche like, but it may explode in popularity and become ubiquitous, just like the smartphone did. Countries of all sizes will have the potential to prosper following the Great Depression, the next Great Depression, I should call it. Yeah. The nations will, the nations that will presumably have healthy economies and enjoy the most economic growth will be those with growing populations, valuable natural resources, and inclination towards business capitalism. Accounting for those factors, the United States will, in all likelihood, be the strongest, the most vibrant in the world. Some other nations like Russia, Japan, China, they might not be so lucky as they're all facing population decline in the near future. And it's difficult to grow an economy with a declining population. And when population declines, most of the taxpayer base and the labor force declines as well. But the most important thing to remember is that this is not the end of the world. It's not a zombie apocalypse pounding at your door. The Great Depression of the 2030s will be a major economic downturn that everyone will remember. But with the right preparation, you will face far fewer problems, allowing you to live your life to the best of your abilities and also to the fullest. But many people are frightened by the words Great Depression. But you don't have to be afraid, because what we are dealing with right now is what is referred to as a silent depression. The concept of a silent depression refers to economic difficulties that are less visible or recognized compared to traditional downturns like recessions, depressions. Key aspects of this concept include economic changes beyond headlines. It implies that there are significant economic challenges not prominently featured in mainstream discussions or recognized as a crisis. The burden of high living costs, essential expenses consume a significant portion of income, reducing the capacity for savings or discretionary spending. There's a disconnect between data and daily life. There's a noticeable gap between positive economic indicators and challenging realities that are faced by many individuals every single day. The growing dependence on debt, the increasing reliance on credit as a mean to manage expenses leads to heightened levels of personal debt. A gradual economic downturn is the term silent suggests a more gradual and less dramatic impact on the quality of life that is compared to traditional economic depressions. Now, the silent depression is more than a social media buzzword, okay? Because I know that this all started on TikTok and stuff like that, but it goes much, much deeper than that. It represents a concept that encapsulates the varied economic experience of individuals. It calls for a closer look at how economic trends and data correlate with the lived experience of individuals. And this understanding can inform policies that address not just the broader economic picture, but also the nuanced realities of different population segments. So, how are we supposed to prepare for the next Great Depression of 2030? Well, if you are new to this community, okay, welcome. But also, if you've been with me for a while, for the past 4 years, then you obviously you're of the prepared mind. Keep doing what you're doing. Get your freedom gardens going, stockpile the essentials, learn how to conserve, save money, try to become debt free, learn how to cook from scratch, learn your survival skills, stockpile short term food and long term food. Just keep doing what you're doing. Because you say, well, it's 2030. Okay, well, we got 6 years left. And we're in a silent depression right now. So it's going to take a lot of us. That 6 years is going to feel like where did that time go type thing. You know what I mean? So because a lot of us don't have the resources to be able to stockpile a lot at once. So it might take that one person who does not have a good amount of resources, that 6 years to stockpile 6 months. So we have to, try to do what we can. Okay. And if a community member reaches out, let's try and do our best to help. Okay. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.